this sticky episode of MythBusters.
Relax. This one hurt a bit.
The team tackle a trio of duct tape tall tales.
Fun for the whole family.
First, Adam and Jamie strength test the mythical material in car lift.
Why, you ask? Because secretly you've always wondered, and that's why we're here.
Then they ask, can it keep your boat afloat?
We're going in.
One that's already sinking,
I think we're gonna need some help from the camera crew.
and one made of nothing but the tacky tape.
You can keep your duct tape prom tucks. We got a boat!
Meanwhile, Gary, Grant, and Tori
Say hello to our little friend!
find out if it can stretch to sticking a cannon together.
Run!
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
and Jamie Heineman.
Bye-bye.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Joining them, Carrie Byron,
Look, Ma, no hands!
Grant Imahara, and Tori Belleci.
We're popping popcorn with lasers.
They don't just tell the myths,
Here comes chaos.
put them to the test.
What you got there?
This is pretty cool. It is a wallet made entirely out of duct tape. You know, I was thinking we could do an entire segment on duct tape.
A segment, we could do a whole episode. Heck, we could do a whole season on the mythical properties of duct tape.
You know, you're right. Let's do a whole hour on duct tape.
Okay.
Recognize this? A roll of tape, and that's just the beginning.
Duct tape, supple vinyl, adhesive strength, and fabric reinforcement means its versatility knows no bounds,
One short strip secures tons of coiled steel.
which has led to some wild, weird, and wacky mythical claims.
What's the plan?
Well, I'm thinking that the mythical properties of duct tape generally fall into two categories. One is strength, i.e. its tensile strength and its adhesion. And the other is that it's so versatile you can do anything at all with it. I say we start by testing its strength.
You mean like lifting a car with it?
Perfect.
Let's go.
Hold on, before we jump right to that, why don't we do some discrete strength tests just to find out what we're in for?
So before stretching our miracle mythical material to its car-lifting limits,
Let's start up the crane.
the guys are going to start with a smaller force.
Many people say about duct tape that, well, it's like the Force. It's got a light side and a dark side, and it binds the whole universe together.
No, not the universe. They'll begin the strength testing by seeing how much tape it takes to bind Adam.
Relax. This one hurt a bit.
Channeling his dark side, Jamie Dexter Heineman goes to
How about
work
that?
securing his victim. And he's enjoying it a bit too much.
So Adam, this is 20 pieces of tape. You holding up?
I'm doing good. It's actually strangely comforting. Feels like a really nice blankie. Hey, buddy.
What's even weirder is Adam also seems to be enjoying it.
I'm about 30 pieces of tape in, and I'm starting to have flashbacks of the other strange things we've done in this exact location. Like, hey, we got one! Capturing Cletus in a bathtub. Also, both Jamie and I got painted with gold paint in this exact location. I'm gonna add this to the list now. All right, let's do it. This is cool. It's like I am the plywood.
Well, so far you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere, although I tell you, I can feel myself settling in here quite, whoa. Wow, really, I'm almost weightless. Perhaps I should point towards the mat? I'm just suggesting. There we go. Oh, whoa, hey. Oh, 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 that was just the rigging settling, right?
Yeah.
Dude, this is actually quite comfortable. 2 rolls of tape equals a whole afternoon of fun.
Fun for the whole family.
Of course, it goes without saying, but we're going to anyway. Please don't try this at home. Adam and Jamie are trained duct tape strength test professionals.
Lest you think that I am foolhardy or reckless for allowing my 180 pounds to be held up by 2 rolls of duct tape, this is actually quite a safe system. I feel quite comfortable. It's a distributed system, which means it has many points of failure, a lot of redundancy built in by all the different pieces of duct tape stuck to the plywood. So I could hang out here all day.
While Adam's hanging around, Carrie, Grant, and Tori are about to go ballistic.
Okay, guys, so what's today's sticky story?
We have a mythical use for duct tape that highlights both its adhesive qualities and its inherent strength.
Okay, hit me. Okay, so what's the myth?
You've heard of a potato cannon, right?
Yeah, you take a bunch of PVC pipe, glued together, seal off one end, add some propellant, add a potato, ignite the propellant, and bang, you're launching potatoes.
Exactly, and as most teenagers and internet anarchists know, you usually use a cement to seal the PVC piping. But there's a just as reliable, much quicker way, using duct tape. Apparently, duct tape is strong enough to withstand the forces of the potato cannon.
All right, sounds easy enough. So we make 2 cannons, one the traditional way and one with duct tape, and see how they compare.
Man, this reminds me of the time I got sent away to boys camp.
If used responsibly, potato cannons are fun for the whole family. And here's how they work. A series of PVC piping is glued together with PVC cement. Potato is squished into the barrel. Propellant is squirted into the combustion chamber. Ignite that propellant with a spark, and just like a real cannon, the projectile is launched. But the team want to know, can you really replace the PVC cement with plain old duct tape?
Now, this may look like a pretty random bunch of materials I have here. I mean, we're talking piping, duct tape, potatoes. But to me, this looks like the glorious beginnings of a good old-fashioned potato cannon. And that's exactly what I'm gonna build. Basically, a potato cannon is like any cannon. You have an explosion happening in the combustion chamber. Okay, that is my combustion chamber held together with duct tape. Gases are expanding and they need to escape, so they look for the path of least resistance. Now, that should be the potato. That's why the potato launches across the field.
Ooh, baked potato.
Now, the big question is, can the duct tape hold up as well as the actual cement that you use to put these pipes together? Now, we know that we can launch a potato with this guy. Can we do it with this guy without it exploding at the bottom instead of just launching a potato?
Grant, we're trying to make science cool.
Once I was the pupil, now I am the master.
All right, go ahead. Never. You're not my father.
So with the cannons complete, the team makes its way to its detonation destination.
So we got us some potato cannons, and we can't fire them in the shop. So we've come to the Alameda runway where we have a big expanse of space right here, where we can shoot off into the distance and explore whether duct tape is as strong as a traditional glue that holds together a potato cannon.
He's just relaxing on his porch, shooting off his potato gun.
Yeah, you trying to hit San Francisco?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me introduce you to the latest items in the Carrie Byron line of home destruction. This is a spud chucker made entirely out of PVC tubing with actual PVC glue. And this is the duct tape tater tosser, but this has duct tape fastening. This is a setup for a control test. We'll have Buster in the chair.
Load her up.
We've got a scale to tell us how fast the potatoes come out of the barrel, and just for laps, we'll be measuring exactly how far they go. This is gonna be great.
So great, the team feel it needs an audience.
Okay, instead of the peanut gallery this time, we have our potato gallery. We got like little Spud Grant, giant Spud Carrie. For some reason, I picked out a huge potato for myself. And little Spud Tori. You can watch.
We ready?
With a couple of squirts of the classified propellant, the control cannon is good to blow.
All right, light it up.
Okay, we got the Spud Chucker, AKA Spudzuka, in 3, 2, 1. Woohoo!
All right, should we go see how far that potato went?
Absolutely. Where's Splash Zone?
All right, what do we get?
267 feet.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Sure, but they want a pretty good data set. And for that, they'll need multiple shots.
Woohoo! $3.97.
And more bad puns.
All right, and the next Spudnik.
Before they get the all-important distance average.
375.
So the potato cannon is working great. We got some good distances.
Yeah, we got an average range of 346 feet and a speed of 179 miles per hour.
So next step, duct tape tater tosser. I think the true test here is, will the duct tape hold up?
This could be explosive.
So, can duct tape contain an explosion capable of sending a spud over 300 feet at a speed of 179 miles an hour?
All right, let's do it.
Surely it's too much to ask of this humble yet highly versatile material.
Duct tape tater tosser in 3, 2, 1.
Oh! It worked! The duct tape held together.
Yeah, it didn't explode.
Not only did it not explode, the first shot from the duct tape tater tosser was right in the slot.
387.
That is right in the range.
That's almost exact. And it didn't blow up.
Which is really what counts. But just to make sure, I think we might have to fire maybe a few more off, right?
Right, because although they know it works,
Whoa!
the question is, does it match the regular cannon's reliability?
Hey, get away from our test! He's eating our sample!
Now to you, it may look like a sea of cones, but to me, it's data. Not only that, it's consistent data. Let me lay it on you. Our spud chucker, held together by PVC cement, had an average range of 346 feet and an average speed of 179 miles per hour. Our duct tape tater tosser, which is a potato cannon held together entirely by duct tape, had an average range of 336 feet and an average speed of 160 miles per hour. That's a difference of 3% on the range and 11% on the speed. Now, given varying winds, differences in the masses of the potatoes, and different amounts of propellant, I'd say that's enough to call their performance identical.
But this is a duct tape special. We can't stop here. This is MythBusters. We gotta ramp it up. We gotta figure out what else we're gonna build with duct tape. I mean, a potato cannon, that's just small potatoes. Get it? Never mind.
If MacGyver had to endorse one product, it would surely be the universal engineering cure-all, duct tape. And to honor its 101 weird and wonderful uses,
Hey, I tell you, I can hang out here all day.
we've devoted a whole hour to it.
Oh, it's for real.
Duct tape was originally invented by the Army. They used it to seal up ammo cases, and they called it duct tape, you know, quack. Quack, damn you. Because it would repel water. Later on, they started to use it for heating and air conditioning vents, things like that, because they would seal it up. But basically, the formulation is the same. It's a plastic coating on the outside to seal things up. It has a fabric structure that gives it its strength, and it has a natural rubber adhesive on the inside, so it sticks to stuff.
And it's that combination of strength and stickiness that has led to the first myth. Can it suspend a car? To find out, Adam and Jamie are weighing in with some strip-by-strip numbers.
We need to find out how much a single length of tape will support in terms of weight, so that we can determine how many we need to lift the car. Now, this is our tape testing rig. We've got one end of the tape goes on a bar on the forklift, the other end of the tape goes on this flat metal surface, and we keep adding barbell weights until the tape breaks.
80 pounds, here we go. Wow, we figured out pretty much the exact weight threshold on the first try.
Yep, I'd say about 70 pounds for a one-time lift.
So all they need now is some wide open space and a car they don't mind dropping. Dead car driving.
Let's get started.
Okay.
It'll be a simple setup. A crane like this one, and a hook, shackle, and single crossbar.
This thing right here is what we're going to attach the tape to. Now, we could run all the tape strips to the crane hook, but we'd end up with a big messy blob. If we're going to get the most out of each strip of tape, we need to be neat and clean with it, and this will allow us to do that.
And hanging from the other end of the myth-inspiring sticky stuff will be the car, which weighs...
The car weighs about 5,000 pounds. Now, each strip of tape will hold about 70 pounds. So that means we'd get away with lifting the car with around 80 strips of tape, I think. We'll call it 100 just to be safe.
Jamie, this is your conscience. It's time to start working.
There are a lot of different things you can do with duct tape. You can bind things together, you can seal things up like ducts and so on, but what we're looking for here is how sticky it is.
I think I've got it down to a reasonable pattern.
If we do our job right, and we actually are able to lift the car off the ground, that cloth in the tape is going to give way before the adhesive does.
It's starting to look like a cathedral of duct tape. That makes sense. I mean, duct tape's almost a religion with some people. Why, you ask? Because secretly, you've always wondered, and that's why we're here. We've used 99 separate strands. All right, here it is, last one. Used up 5.5 rolls of duct tape, and by our measurement, this ought to be just enough to lift this car. I think it's gonna.
It's a thing of beauty, and despite the fact the guys have done the math and know it should work, it somehow seems improbable. Duct tape lifting a car? Well, we're about to find out for real.
Let's get it off the ground.
Let's start up the crane.
The crane winch cranks into action,
This is it.
and millimeter by millimeter, it gently pulls the car skywards.
Okay, I can see it starting to come up.
Come on! It's got a very loose relationship with the ground right now.
Oh, it's almost painful to watch. Ah!
So it looks like duct tape can be used to seal a potato cannon.
Yeah, and that's got me thinking.
Ooh, that's got me worried.
It should, because I'm thinking that you make an entire cannon out of duct tape.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a genuine black powder cannon firing real cannonballs.
Out of nothing but duct tape?
Yes!
Carrie, you should start thinking more often.
I know! But we're MythBusters, we have to ramp it up.
Okay, hang on a second, you guys. Inside of a real cannon, the pressures are significantly higher than inside a potato cannon.
Well, maybe we should find out if duct tape is even strong enough. We'll take a steel pipe, seal off one end with nothing but duct tape, load it like a cannon, fire it, and see if it withstands the forces.
And we'll start with 1 inch thick, then we'll go to 2, 3, 4 inches until we find out the thickness that it needs to be to hold up.
Sounds crazy, but don't you love it?
Yes.
I know!
A cannon, a regular one, works a bit like this. The black powder explodes in the combustion chamber, and the expanding gases throw the cannonball along the barrel. So first up, to find out how much duct tape is required to withstand those pressures, the guys are going to replace the back end of the combustion chamber with inch-thick tiles of tape. However many it takes.
I see injuries in my future. So it's time for me to whip out my cannon. Now let's just say I know a few things about building cannons. However, this time, we're building it out of nothing but duct tape. Now, duct tape is strong, but is it going to be strong enough to withstand the kind of forces that are exerted by exploding black powder? So I need to make a strength gauge. All right, let's go to work. That way we can put the duct tape under the same conditions that a cannon would be under, so we can test the limits of this duct tape. I mean, black powder and duct tape? That doesn't sound like science. That sounds like a family reunion.
So this is the strength part of our strength gauge. It's a plastic frame I've cut out for layering duct tape. I'm gonna make a 1 inch thick sheet that I'll then cut down into 1 foot by 1 foot square tiles. They're gonna bolt onto the back of what Tori's making, and when we ignite our black powder, we'll find out how much duct tape it doth take. So that is 1 inch thick.
Yay!
All right, let's cut it up into tiles. So we've used 37 rolls of duct tape. At 60 yards a roll, that's 2,220 yards of duct tape.
Hey, dude, you got something on your face.
That's 1 1/4 miles to make all the tiles we need for our strength test.
There's a new fashion statement.
Yeah, it's
This
called
is cool, dude. You can do a whole line of shirts like this.
La Vie de Booger.
So with the duct tape tiles and strength gauge complete, it's off to a familiar and favorite location.
So it's time to find out how strong our duct tape is.
That looks nothing like a cannon.
but it does have similarities to a cannon. I mean, it has exploding black powder and a projectile. So that being said, we can't test it in the shop. Here you go, Carrie, if you want to take a nap. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play on the bed?
She told me not to play on my bed. I think this will work.
So we've come here to the bomb range, our favorite place, to test this safely so that nobody gets hurt. It's a straight gauge. It's not a cannon.
And if you're wondering exactly why it's not a cannon, here's the man with the strength gauge.
First, we're not using a cannonball. We're using a piston. It's the same diameter and weight as a cannonball, but it's not a cannonball. Anybody got any duct tape? Second, we're not using a fuse. We're using an electric remote system to light off the gunpowder. And most importantly, there is no steel back at the end of this steel tube. It's gonna be a duct tape panel. Once we load this up and fire it off, what we're looking for is the piston to fly out of the barrel and have the duct tape intact. If that happens, then we know duct tape is strong enough to build a cannon out of. You know what, after looking at how thick that 1-inch duct tape panel is, I'm thinking one panel is gonna be enough.
Really, just one? I think it's gonna take at least 2. I would bet on 2.
I think it's gonna take at least 3.
All right, put your money where your mouth is.
I got $5.
I got 5.
Okay, so who holds the money? Here.
Cameraman.
All right, we're hooked in.
For this to be a good, successful test, what we're looking for is that the duct tape tiles, whatever thickness we end up with, will be intact while the piston blows out the other end of the strength gauge.
Okay, so this is 1-inch thick slab of duct tape in the strength gauge.
This is your chance at $15.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh! Pay up, suckers! Wow!
Wait, let's survey the damage first. I want to make sure it held up.
1.
Incredibly, it seems to have worked first time out. And it's disbelief all round.
There's no way this test worked on the first go. There's no way.
Oh my God! A 1-inch thick slab of duct tape was enough to withstand the kind of force to launch a cannonball.
Wow!
That's perfect,
Wow.
man.
It burned the heck out of it, but it didn't blow out.
No, it's beautiful.
It just burnt off the wax paper, too. It didn't even go through the first layer of duct tape.
That's
This
amazing.
stuff is incredible.
We got a great result from the duct tape strength test. It looks like duct tape is gonna be strong enough to build a cannon out of it. Now all we need to do is build a cannon. But you know what the best part of this experiment was? I won the bet. Give me my money, punk. Give me that.
Oh, come on, baby.
Adam and Jamie are attempting to lift a car with just 99 strips of duct tape. And they're close. Real close.
He's got one wheel.
It's off! It's off the ground! That's almost like a piece of temporary art right there.
That's kind of nuts. Why you need to do this, I don't know, but it's cool. It's holding.
That is awesome. Nice work, sir.
It's holding. And with a flight time of a minute and counting, the result is clear, leaving just one remaining question.
It's only a matter of time before it comes crashing down. It'll be just like a zipper opening up.
Yeah, as with all flights off the ground. Taking off is optional, landing is mandatory.
First one went. That's 2 strips of tape that are gone now.
Oh!
That's 3,
Oh!
4.
Oh! Nice!
Exactly like a zipper. Plus, just like Jamie suggested, it wasn't the adhesive that gave way, but the tape itself.
Wow. I love how consistently it broke all the way along that sharp point.
Yeah, I don't see a single piece of tape that lost its adhesion. They all ripped right in the middle of the tape.
That's true.
Yet again, tools and materials used in ways for which they were never intended. In the case of duct tape, if you've got enough of it, you could move the world.
Not a bad way to spend the afternoon.
What's next? That was cool.
I totally agree. Hold on a second, I want to picture it again. Okay,
What's next?
This is a good one for you, Captain. Have you ever had to use duct tape to fix a leak in a boat?
My boats don't leak.
Okay, well just imagine that you're out on the open seas, your boat's got a leak in it, and this is the only thing you've got to repair it. Will it do the job?
Waterproofing, adhesion, sounds like a good test.
I thought so.
And so are two Mythbusters, one an optimist
What a gorgeous day for a boat ride.
and one a pessimist.
Or for sinking a boat.
Arrive on the shores of Frisco Bay, ready to set this myth adrift.
Well, if we're going to repair a hole in a boat with duct tape, then obviously we're going to need a boat with a hole in it. We've got a boat. It doesn't yet have a hole, but I'm about to remedy that.
It's a sizable hole in the hull, but confidence in the sticky cure is still high and dry.
This is a no-brainer. The tape's going to hold just fine. Under these conditions, this size hole, we could sail all day.
However, Jamie Glass Half Empty Heineman is prepared for the
If
worst.
you're gonna get in a leaky boat, you need to remember a couple of things. The first one is a life preserver,
All right, let's put this puppy on the water.
and the second one is something to bail with, like a bleach bottle or something like that. There we go.
All right, I'll step in.
Okay.
Well, it floats. It successfully supports
Okay, I'm holding
one Mythbuster. Two Mythbuster.
I don't see any water. That's always a good sign.
And the dinghy with its duct tape patch is looking good to row.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also standing the test of time.
Should have brought my fishing pole.
Well, it's been about 25 minutes, and as both Jamie and I predicted, the duct tape repair is holding up beautifully.
Properly applied, the duct tape actually seems to be doing fairly well. I have to say, though, I wouldn't take off across the ocean with that kind of patch. It works, but it scares me a little bit.
And with good reason, because at the 30-minute mark,
Where's that water coming in from?
there's a hint that the duct tape isn't a permanent solution.
Yeah, it's pooling in the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bad sign. It clearly works. I mean, we're still afloat, but I'm not too happy with it because we're going to have to start bailing before long.
I would say that it's not waterproof, but it's absolutely water resistant.
I'll buy that.
It's a testament to the tape that after 40 minutes, they're still afloat.
It's just a little wet.
But Adam has a tougher assignment in mind.
So I think our duct tape patch is holding up pretty well, but honestly, when I think boat repair, I don't think of repairing a boat on the dock and then putting in. If you're gonna do it on the dock, you're gonna have all the materials you need. Duct tape means you're in an emergency situation. I would like to create that emergency situation.
You want to get wet, huh?
I do. Rip off the patch. Water's pouring through the hole. Duct tape's the only thing we got. We gotta fix that hole.
The water's cold.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Whoa. That's a bona fide emergency we got going on there.
I'll start making a patch.
You start making a patch.
Like the little boy and the dike, Adam is plugging the hole digitally. While Jamie goes to work with the mythical material.
If you have to apply duct tape underwater, you're going to have a hard time because the water forms a film that inhibits the adhesive from really connecting with the surface you're trying to put it on.
All right, going in. You ready?
Okay. It's really frustrating. It's just like the adhesive is not there.
Unsurprisingly, it's not sticking very well, but it is sticking a little bit. All right, take your foot off. I think we start the clock and see how that repair does. What do you say?
Starts now.
Okay. 1.
Harry, Grant, and Tori have seen that 1-inch thick duct tape can withstand the explosive pressures of a cannon.
But is it going to be strong enough to hold the shape of the cannon once it's completely built? Now let me just show you something. Imagine this duct tape roll is a slice out of the cannon. Now I'm going to cut out the little cardboard insert so that way it's just duct tape. And if you look at it, I put pressure on it and it collapses. If this happens when we fire off our cannon and our cannonball gets stuck inside, the whole cannon could explode.
And the team is going to play it safe by making its duct tape cannon barrel 2 inches thick. And to get the perfect shape, it's going to build it around a removable steel form.
Okay, so here's the plan. We have our internal diameter plug. We're going to grease this up. You know what Jamie would say here.
When in doubt, lube.
We're gonna cover it in wax paper.
All right.
And then we're gonna start a cross-hatching system with all of our duct tape to get to our target thickness so we have the perfect duct tape cannon.
After a few minutes, the guys settle into a routine.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And on occasion, Carrie settles into her chair.
Whew, I'm working up a sweat over here. I think I need to take a break. Could you get me a drink?
Miss Byron wants a drink!
With almost 20 rolls of tape used and the end in sight,
I think it looks like a giant duct tape zeppelin.
Or a big silver sausage.
Or that.
the team starts thinking through the next stage of the build.
One of our big concerns is that the cannon will simply collapse on itself. So I'm going to make a smaller wooden form that we can use to safely transport this to our testing site. Ta-da! Here it is.
And another problem that we're gonna face is that the cannon itself may just fold. So I gotta come up with some kind of support system that runs the entire length of the barrel that will allow us to attach to our stand.
All right,
Yeah,
2 inches. That's it.
All right, we hit our target point. Now the hard part, getting this off the form.
I don't think it'll be that hard. I think we prepped really well.
Okay.
All right.
Famous last words.
Optimism, guys, optimism.
Exuding the confident glow of the well-prepared, Carrie has no doubts it's going to work.
Yeah.
The boys, not so much.
Yeah, slipping right off.
Easy.
How bad is this gonna suck if we can't get this off the form?
Pretty bad.
Okay, so we got this whole plan, right? We drill a hole, we put air pressure in, and it should just kind of slide right off the form. We drilled the hole, we put the air pressure in, nothing. So we drilled another hole, we put more air pressure in.
That's good. It's moving.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Yep. You got an inch. It's going. It's going.
And it started to move a little bit, but still not really coming off that easily.
There we go. Move it. Move it.
Finally, we wrapped the strap around the cannon, pulled on it with the forklift, and then it popped right off.
Oh, there
Yep,
it goes.
there it goes.
It's coming off. Yeah! Yeah! We got it.
Yes! Say hello to our little friend.
Nice.
Oh, that is a beautiful thing.
The boys had their doubts about us getting the duct tape cannon off of the metal form.
That is sick.
That's a duct tape cannon.
This might actually work.
Nice. That is awesome. I knew it was gonna work.
Now all we need is gunpowder and cannonballs.
Adam and Jamie are kings of the world. But inevitably, just like Kate and Leo, they're going under. Because while testing the myth that duct tape can keep you afloat, their emergency wet repair is leaking. And leaking fast.
I'd say we're at like 6-7 inches. Well, it's not looking so good for duct tape repair of a boat in situ, in damp conditions, as it were. And it doesn't look like our boat is long for the world here, but we're gonna wait it out.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say we're officially sinking because, like, we're sitting in water.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty clear to me that applied dry, duct tape actually implements a not unreasonable boat repair. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Applied wet, not so much. Here. I think we can still get back to shore.
Duct tape for boat repair, well, like a lot of things, the devil's in the details.
Have you ever paddled a sinking boat?
No, that I haven't done. With a dry surface, a super clean one, properly applied, it'll work fairly well for a while. Anything else, forget about it.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I think we're gonna need some help from the camera crew. So, leaky boat repair, I'm calling it plausible, even if it's not ideal. Hell, out on the open water, I'd rather have this than nothing by a long shot.
I agree. But you know, I was thinking, why mess around with patching boats and such nonsense? Let's up the ante and actually make a boat out of duct tape.
I love it! I knew you'd find the open water inspiring.
Be sure to bring your life vest.
Yep, our salty Sea Dog Heineman and Captain Savage love a nautical engineering challenge. They escaped Alcatraz in a boat made of raincoats. They raised the Titanic with ping pong balls. They've even made a speedboat out of frozen newspapers.
I'm king of the world! Whoa.
And now a boat made out of duct tape? But it won't be just duct tape, surely.
Now, because it'd be a little floppy if it was all duct tape, we're going to use steel wire to make a grid to hang the duct tape on.
Ah, it's pretty.
Next, the mast, which is raised and welded into position,
Ahoy!
followed by the keel and rudder.
Oh, yeah.
Which just leaves the key ingredient.
You may see 100 rolls of duct tape. I see a boat.
Lots and lots of it. But is it enough to float a boat?
If you're going to build a boat out of duct tape, you need to think about the duct tape as cloth or like an animal hide. It's kind of like weaving. And in fact, that's what Native Americans used to do, is build boats out of animal hide, and they would make a lightweight wood structure that they'd stretch it over. We're going to do the same thing, but instead of wood, we're going to use steel because we can work quicker with it. Of course, otherwise, the boat is a pretty normal modern sailboat design.
I gotta say, what's really cool about this, you're gonna watch the whole thing get built in like a minute and a half. It's gonna have taken us 6 hours, and while it may seem tedious, I find it meditative, relaxing, glorious.
With the second layer being applied, the cornerstone of their design should be noted. It'll be sticky side to sticky side.
That's the last one. The hull is done.
The double adhesive layer forming what the guys hope will be a waterproof bond. But Jamie's not quite convinced it's enough.
Well, Adam, we've only got one shot at this. I'm a little concerned. I'm kind of thinking we should put another coat on it.
I think it's ready to go. I'll give you action on this. I'll pay you $100 if this thing fails catastrophically. It's ready to sail.
Only $100? Make it 5.
Okay, $500. Sure.
$500. I can't lose. Let's go sailing.
But they're not quite done yet. They need a sail. And in a classic MythBusters moment, we reduce the next hour of hard work and problem solving to a crisp 10-second montage.
Yeah, baby. You can keep your duct tape prom tucks. We got a boat! If I was alone on the open sea, the last thing I'd ask for is 23 rolls of duct tape. But apparently, this is enough to make a boat. 690 square feet. If you laid each of these rolls end to end, they would span the Golden Gate Bridge, and soon, we're gonna take them sailing.
All right, let's put this duct tape to the test.
Cary, Grant, and Tori are about to find out if you can make a fully functioning cannon from duct tape.
Look at this arsenal of absurdities.
The test will be a simple performance comparison with a real steel cannon, including muzzle velocity, range, and whether it, catastrophically fails.
Now, you may recognize this cannon from Prison Break when we try to launch a prisoner over the prison wall. This time, we're going to be using it for a control test before we fire off our duct tape cannon. And we're going to be using the same amount of black powder as we did on our strength gauge.
That's 4 shotgun shells. And we've placed cones at every 50 yards so we can see just how far our cannonballs travel.
All right, that's 500 yards. I don't think the cannonball is going to go much farther than that, do you?
No way. And finally, to check the speed of the cannonballs, we set up this scale. Because remember, for this myth to be confirmed, it should have similar range, similar speed, and most importantly, the duct tape cannon cannot blow up. All right, see you back there.
Okay. Sure leave me with the dangerous job.
With the 4 shotgun shells worth of black powder in the combustion chamber, all that's left to do is light the fuse.
All right, here we go.
Oh, and run.
Run, Forrest, run!
Yeah! You guys ready?
I'm ready. Are we lit?
We're lit.
The inexorable, heart-thumping excitement of the lit fuse. Whether it's your first or hundredth, there's nothing quite like it. some serious real steel and black powder hardware. It threw the cannonball the full length of the course.
That looks like a divot right there. Like,
Yeah, it totally is. It went over 500 yards.
So I've reviewed the high-speed footage, and Tori's cannon was able to fire an 18.5-pound cannonball at 195 miles per hour in a distance of 500 yards. So that is our goal for the duct tape cannon. But to be honest, I will be very happy if our duct tape creation doesn't explode upon ignition.
Adam and Jamie have set themselves the ultimate duct tape challenge.
Get a boat!
The latest in a distinguished line of nautical adventures.
At this point, we've made a boat out of rubber raincoats. We've made one out of frozen newspapers. Now we've made one out of duct tape.
And in the shadow of the Bay Bridge,
Seated.
the final preparation for Stuck on You's maiden voyage is just about complete.
So close, I can feel it. Unless we need any more stakes than our honor and our ability to build things, I've added 500 simoleons to the mix. Can we see $500 at the bottom of the screen? Great. Now let's get one of those ka-ching sounds. Awesome. These are the stakes. That's the boat. We're about to take it out. It's now or never. Let's get it to the water.
Yep. It's getting close to the moment of truth, and all that's separating us from Davy Jones's locker is a little bit of tape. That's good. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but if it doesn't, I'm getting wet and cold, and I'm motivated not to do that.
As unlikely as it seems, and surely in a world first, Adam and Jamie are attempting to sail
Let me get out of the way. There we go.
in a boat made out of duct tape. And despite the chaotic start, it appears the boat really does float.
You got the tiller on the rudder?
Yep.
You see any water down there?
Not a drop.
Preliminary report so that it's seaworthy. Permission to climb aboard?
Come on in.
All right, here I go. I'm in. And we're away. Oh, this is a life, eh?
So far.
Understandable skepticism,
We don't have much wind.
but even glass half empty Heinemann
Try not to put your feet through the bottom.
relaxes as they catch a draft and get underway.
This thing's holding water, man. I don't see a drop of water.
Yeehaw! This is actually working. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, give me some skin there.
Ow.
Ow!
It went over 500 yards.
Tori, Grant, and Carrie's real steel cannon can.
Now it's time to see what the duct tape cannon can do.
now we have a target for our duct tape cannon. Now I'm hoping we get the same sort of distance out of this, because this would be a really nice addition to our arsenal.
But the guys are getting ahead of themselves. They seem to have a sticky problem.
One of the pros and the cons of duct tape is the fact that it is so flexible and malleable. So it's great that we can actually make a complex shape like a cannon, but the big question is, can it hold that shape long enough to shoot off one of our cannonballs? Excellent.
In order to fire off this cannon, it is going to be tricky because loading it, we got to move quick. Because as soon as we pull off this plug, the duct tape cannon is going to lose its shape. Ready?
Yep.
I mean, as strong as the duct tape is, it's not rigid.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, that's a tight fit. We might have a bomb here instead of a cannon.
So if it loses its shape, there's a potential that the ball gets stuck inside the barrel.
Oh, this has just gotten a lot scarier.
If that happens, it's going to trap all that pressure from the burning black powder. Instead of getting a cannon firing off, we're going to get a giant explosion. That would be okay with me.
When catastrophic failure equals an explosion,
Lighting it in 3, 2, 1.
it's a win-win as far as Tori's concerned.
Get out of here. This one could be dangerous.
Run! All right, the fuse is lit. It looks good.
So this is it. Can a duct tape cannon withstand and brace the force required to throw an 18.5-pound cannonball 500 yards? Or will the soft and malleable barrel grip the ball and cause it to bomb?
Okay, it's gonna be soon.
It worked. And a happier bunch of ballistic MythBusters you're unlikely to see.
It's gorgeous. Look at that. There's no deformation. Everything is still pretty much intact.
And we launched the ball pretty far.
But exactly how far?
That is cool. It went like 125 yards.
So, according to my calculations, our duct tape cannon fired the cannonball at 136 miles per hour, which is only a 30% reduction over Tori's cannon. Now, it suffered a little bit in the distance, it only went a quarter of the way, but that's still 125 yards. And just bear this in mind, that cannonball is 18.5 pounds, one cannon is made out of solid steel, and the other cannon is made out of cloth-backed, polyethylene-coated, rubberized adhesive tape.
So performance-wise, it didn't quite match up. But there's no doubt it's a fully functioning cannon. And with the fat lady warming her tonsils for the confirmation aria, the guys load up one more time. You know, just to be sure.
I always get really excited when we actually get to confirm a myth, because we always are busting them. Overwhelmingly, we bust myths. This one, duct tape cannon, is actually confirmed. And now we have a duct tape cannon. You know what that looks like to me? Confirmed.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't go as far as the regular cannon, but it did work.
That's right, no explosion, and it went the distance. Confirmed.
Woo!
Now, more duct tape.
I love it.
Duct tape and black powder. Two of my favorite things, and here on MythBusters, we figured out a way to bring them together in the form of a cannon, and a cannon that worked, that didn't explode. We confirmed this. I just can't tell you how happy I am. Good times, everybody. Good times.
You could say Adam and Jamie are enjoying themselves.
Scotty, I need more power.
I'm giving it all we got, Captain, but I just can't push it any further.
They've managed to make a sailing boat out of duct tape.
I gotta say, we knew the duct tape stuck together was reasonably waterproof, but it also has a really nice tensile strength. It's made of just a fabulous skin on this boat.
I think the key to it is making one nice piece of fabric out of the whole skin. Adhesive to adhesive was miles ahead of just putting tape on any which way.
So with a couple of days and a couple of dozen rolls of duct tape, we set ourselves the task of making a viable, seaworthy vessel. And while it's true that failure is always an option, I have to say success is pretty sweet.
And as far as Adam's concerned, it's a financial success as well.
Dude, I think we can stay out here all day. This boat is not going to fail anytime soon. I don't think I have to pay $500.
You're absolutely right.
I love being right.
Well, Adam, you know what they say.
Yeah?
Whatever floats your boat. I somehow didn't think it was going to be duct tape, though.